Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome back to Endless Legend, where as soon as I loaded in, I was confronted with this. Green is closing their borders to us, and that definitely is a sign of hostile feelings. It's a good thing they didn't think to do this earlier, before it cost them an Irken, but, I guess turnabout's fair play. But I think this reinforces that there's probably no peaceful coexistence on this continent with Green, and that's kind of not, like, our thing anyway. It's also worth remembering that Green City is probably, like, really powerful. It would be a good thing to take it. It would definitely be a very strong play for us. We just have to figure out how to make it through their very superior army. Now, keep in mind, we got run the hell over, and I knew we were going to lose that battle late last episode, but I was surprised by the degree, the degree to which we lost that battle. Part of what happened there is that Battleborn just don't scale all that well into the late game, right? After a certain point in the game, the majority of your unit stats are coming from their equipment. If you're remembering to get strategic gear technologies, then you're producing so much stats, so many points of stats from gear, that it's the gear doing most of the work. Because we can't equip the Battleborn with stuff, they're going to just fall behind as armies get more advanced. So we're going to have to start getting more reliant on units that we have actually built. For this reason, it might be worth researching the third assimilation slot for the purpose of picking up a unit that is actually designed for fighting. I do think that some Kekators in our army, probably a good idea. The Ursus unit is a little bit... So it's like it's a big heavy infantry unit, right? And I just don't think it's very compelling for us. It has very low initiative, and it's kind of tough, but it's just going to get shot to pieces. This is not a thing we need. So, we do have access to proper archers, and then sort of weird melee hybrid archers with free counter. Eresis as a fast-moving... oh no, they're not particularly fast, huh? I thought these were essentially cavalry. Well, Gorin are essentially cavalry. Picking up a cavalry-type unit might not be a bad idea for us, since we are going up against a force that's heavy on the ranged. We're going to have to make sure that they have reasonable initiative, but if we can have our disease troops just pushing in from the front, and then some stuff swooping around the sides to grab their archers, that's probably a good idea. Although we could just do this with necro drones, honestly. It's probably a better way to approach it. Anyway. I don't think we have anything else to do this turn. We do have 879 dust. Do we want to do something with that? Ipsawacha has industry efficiency 2, which is not a bad governing trait. Temak Rayan is army boost 1 and army damage boost 1, so definitely a commander. And then Petrov Judit has science efficiency, so that's a buff to the rate of citizen science production. I think we're going to hold off on that. We're going to hold off on spending dust. So let's talk about our landing strategy here. Obviously, I want to put down a city quickly. I am a little bit concerned. The part of the reason that I haven't just brought over the Irkens and used them in conjunction with our closed borders policy to bully these green armies away is that I'm worried that the green will just respond by declaring war on us and then rushing us, and we're not really in a good position to defend an Irken just yet. I definitely want to get the city down, burn the 5 food stockpiles we have on the city so that we have an army of modern Battleborn, which again are probably not going to be enough, but they will help a lot, and then we can warp some Irkens over to help defend the city. And even then, I'm a little nervous, if I'm being honest. I got shaken pretty badly by that loss, by the exact nature of that loss. So I think for right now, we're good. I think this is the plan. We'll hold off on major dust expenditures for a turn or two here, partially to be able to buy stuff out in the new city. And we're just waiting on that new city to get established. And we're hoping that the eclipse does not end before then. I mean, we want to put the food stockpiles into the new city either way, right? It's very important that the new city receive all that growth. But boy, it sure would be great if we could Okay, red got their city's fortification value to 800. Once again, reinforcing that I would rather fight green than red. Somebody built the Throne of Emperors, and we'll have a look at that presently. Oh, right, yeah, I have Battleborn up north who are running away from stuff. That's not a big deal. Strikes far. Probably ought to just grab Inspirational Leader, because we are on our way toward Cold Operator. Okay, we'll worry about all this other stuff in a second. So, they backed up a little bit, but it's hard to tell exactly where to. Let me deal with some other stuff first here. So, first of all, I wanted this. Let's have you march as close as you can. I guess over here would be fine. It's like stand right here and throw up the ward. Oh, hey, that's the Throne of Emperors. Okay, well, we know who is responsible for that. Show me this city, the city of Angrin. Okay, 530 fortification. There are only 7 units in the garrison. The region's not huge. They have 70% security, so it would be very difficult to do spy stuff in there. But we may try anyway. It might turn out to be worth it. Because you can have a spy crash the fortification of a city. There are good spying heroes available, right? Actually, no, not really. Yeah, okay. So, probably it's not worth it. A spy without spying for would have to spend so long insinuating themselves into the city that it just wouldn't work out. Probably what we're going to have to do is just grind their fortifications down slowly, turn by turn. I don't much like that plan, but it is a plan that is available to us. That is a Mycaran Tower of Truth, and I do not care for it. I do not like it being there. I could try to burn it out. This army has 30 fortification damage. How long would that take? 6 turns? Jesus. And this guy only has 3. Alright, well then I probably do not, in fact, want to do that. This is a Bos village. I mean, we could just munch these guys up real quick. This is what, 6 cadavers? Because we get double from the actual fighting, plus 2 from destroying the village. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I kind of want to run over and search things, and then just scurry back to my territory quickly at the beginning of the next turn. This is army... Okay, that army has spent its movement. Epatane, 18. 233 attack. Okay. So, with a ranged unit like this, it only has 90 defense. So, you could, in theory, get in on it and do a lot of damage, but it does have 122 initiative. They've given their ranged units improved initiative 3, which is going to make them very awkward to fight. I mean, it is still... Oh, that's bloomed? I thought the yellow on it was just the normal searchable sparklies, but apparently it was spores. Okay. So we caught and damaged the guy who's been decreasing our morale. He has been sent back to his academy. So -2 morale for 4 turns. Okay. Very annoying. It's not even actually accomplishing anything. They're just being dicks. So, we've searched a lot of the ruins, not all of them yet. Let's go grab that. But yeah, it looks like our Skyfin is just about done with its duty. I'm not gonna lie, every time one of these things fires, I'm hoping for Dust Orchid. Because, you know, we could still resolve the problem, the fortification problem, by just tremors. Alright, so next turn we can make landfall, and we can settle immediately. And that might be the thing that we have to do, right? I think what I'm going to do is next turn, before we move this unit, I'm going to pop one of the Urkins over here, get us some vision. Did we pick up the plus vision bonus for our Urkins? I know there was a plus vision thing somewhere. Okay, yes, so it'll serve as a functional watchtower to tell us whether or not we have the ability to get that settler onto land and then maneuver it for a turn before throwing down the city. And we're probably going to want to fire this, actually. Alright, for the moment, all of the boosters that we have that can run are running. We can buy enough wine to fire that. So let's buy 15 more wine right now, while that's a thing that we can afford to do. And then we will fire a wine booster right before we set the new city. And there's just not a lot of Dust Orchid available. Well, in 3 turns we'll be pulling from underneath one of our cities, but yeah, it's still going to take like a long time. Like way longer than we have, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to hope somebody puts some up on the market. Okay, what are we doing here? This is the capital. So the capital is not desperate for level ups. We're still doing just fine on approval. So maybe this would be an okay time to, like, get Imperial funding done while continuing to focus on population for, you know, long-term strength purposes. In Rouster... Yeah, Rouster is still, like, a tiny, tiny little baby city. God, we have so many more things to build here. Oh, yeah, right. All of this Hyperium. Okay, yeah. The Adamantian Extract will be done in 2 turns. That's pretty good, at least. We are going to need some new tech as well. I don't know exactly where... Oh, right. Now that we have a dock, we can get out in the water a little bit more effectively. Don't know exactly where we're going to put this. And then hopefully future settlers can just be built or bought directly on this continent. So what follows for you? Probably food sources. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So what do our incomes look like? We're pulling 4 Palladian and 4 Adamantian per turn. So weapons based on Palladian and Adamantian are not so good. I mean, weapons based on Mithrite and Hyperium would be even worse. Yeah, we have remarkably poor strategic income for the number of volcanic regions that we hold. I wonder if we just got unlucky or if they turned down the amount that volcanic regions spawn strategic stuff. I could see that happening. It was pretty wild before. Alright, so armies. You're gonna stay right here in the fog. A lot of people being sneaky. You're just running away from green. Okay, that is definitely not my carrot. Damn it. Turns out not to matter. Okay, so you're not in a great spot there. It seems like green and red are struggling a lot over the fungal blooms in the area, which makes sense to me. Ah, boy. One thing we could do is we could have one of our Urkins relocate to, like, here. I was thinking we'd relocate to there, but we could relocate to here and then quick settle this region. Put the first settler down here and the second settler down there. That gets us a little bit of territory. It puts us right up adjacent to green, which is scary, but it does give us a safe place for a lot of these units to run to. And it means maybe we can get Geos over here on our side. which could be valuable. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm pretty nervous. Part of that's just I'm feeling pretty unsure about our position in the game, and part of that is that I'm having a bad anxiety disorder day, which is also playing some part in why this episode is so late in the day. I mean, there's no point fighting this, right? We run, and then we run. Continue to run. Never stop fleeing. Never, ever stop fleeing. If you want to live, you'll flee. Okay, so are we going to quick snap like Chaka over here? The thing is, right now, Chaka and Fakir are both providing a bunch of approval that we actually do care about a lot. Chaka is way better at fighting, and also has 2 lice. So it definitely makes more sense to bring Chaka over. Yeah, 1470 health. Like, look at those stats. Look at Chaka being almighty. But if we move Chaka off of here, we lose so much science and approval. I think it's probably necessary in the short term, at the very least. So yeah, at the beginning of the turn, we are going to quickly relocate Chaka to, like, here. I want to be fully within our territory so that we don't get any, like, enemy armies standing on the border and attacking us nonsense. But we have enough vision that shouldn't be a problem. Drop, like, right there, maybe. And then we'll try to get some settles done, and hopefully this'll work out. Nervous. Very nervous. I had to talk to another human being, a stranger, on the telephone today, you know? Who can handle such things, I ask you? Please don't end the eclipse. I need the eclipse for at least one more turn, preferably like 2 or 3. Okay. Oh, I can only settle in tiles that I can see. Alright, that's fine. So Chaka comes down here and provides us with lots of good information. And you run for that, and you also... you've already been attacked, is what's happening there. Oh, right, I should have executed your move faster. Alright, well, what's happening? Oh! First of all, unwanted oxidation occurred. Plus 50% on the strategic resource costs of items on empires. Then, the quest for dealing with unwanted oxidation appeared. Then one of the AI completed the quest immediately. So this thing happened, and then we were told, then we were told this, oxidation gone. Okay. That's a lot of notifications in quick succession there. Okay. Green got 15 districts, and they have taken the patriotic propaganda, which they do not need. We are continuing to grow population, because of course we are. Awareness range of armies is back to normal. Ululani Rawi is getting levels, and yeah, probably a good idea to take Cold Operator at this point, because winter is coming. Urunqua has been espied upon. I think I'm cool doing a roundup in Urunqua. That's not going to cost us too much. Urunqua is a pretty minor city, and it's not really doing anything of value. So we got attacked over here by neutrals, which I am pretty surprised about. You can just retreat and then, yeah, get a move on. Oh, that's a fungal bloom. Never mind. Just get inside of our territory. Hi, you're not allowed to be here. This is my territory. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? Ugh, this cliff. No, don't. I just want you to move on to the tile. Here, as long as we don't direct the unit onto the tile. So if we tell it to move through, it will stand there. Okay. Yeah, I should dismiss that. This is the one we dealt with already. So, we don't know for sure that this area is safe, but it looks like it might be. I'm going to step you up onto the coast here. Okay. So we can get our settler up, and then we can queue up a settle move and actually do the settle at the beginning of next turn. So where do we want to actually perform the settle? This region is definitely higher value. Oh, this region has some nice anomaly clustering. But I want to settle on a place that's coastal, so that we can reinforce from the coast. I think Einar, the only value that Einar has is its position. It's just like already adjacent to one of my regions, basically. It's like very, very easy to reinforce. So we could settle next to the crystal flowers, but this is, I think... Yeah, it's just kind of crummy. This region up here doesn't have much better land, but what it does have, at the very least, is a more relevant strategic resource. It's a Delvers region with 2 villages, whereas this is a Delvers region, but with 1 village. Yeah, I think I'd rather settle here, and I'd rather do it, like, near the life tree if we can. Which we could not do next turn. I'm really worried about taking too long and getting, not getting the city down while the Eclipse is still running, because I want those Battleborn for defense. I don't know if I want to run for 2 turns. Maybe we just put down here in a location that's kind of crummy at first, and we plan to expand into the tree. Honestly, I think I'm going to do that. I think this, even this, is pushing it on the length of the Eclipse. So, I want to execute that as quickly as possible at the beginning of next turn. And then I'm going to send this settler in through the coast of Holkaj, and we can figure stuff out up there later. Yep, that's my brilliant plan. Okay, so, because I'm going to be mashing the run over there and settle button at the beginning of next turn, I'm just going to go ahead and fire the wine booster now. Also, apparently we had somehow fallen to 89% approval, so that does get us back to fervent. Alright, I would love to put up 6 food stockpiles. That would be absolutely wonderful. So this is Kalal, which is a sort of not very important city, just kind of in the middle of the Empire. And it will take it forever to build anything, the way it is currently designed. But boy, it sure is getting population out. I mean, the whole point of getting a lot of population out is that you can suddenly turn the city into a thing that is effective for whatever you need it to be, so let's just go ahead and do that. Merwan should also probably get a plow factory. Just continue pushing population. Here in Juliarn. Juliarn is just kind of like a tiny, weird, bad city. Wow, look at the anomaly clustering over here. These cold regions are wild. We probably just want to build out districts here, right? I think this needs to grow. In Quausk, we've just finished our plow factory. This is a 1-village region, so the chapel doesn't make any sense here. Oh, there is mithrite. You know, our plan as far as strategic weapons go may just be to make everything out of mithrite, because we actually have a lot of mithrite extractors. So let's research that technology. Sorry, I was flicking through these, making sure we are building things in all places. Oyvind finished its dock. Okay. Oyvind definitely needs more districts. We'd actually level some stuff up here. It's a shame you can't queue up multiple districts in a row. I would love to just, like, build out the line. I understand why it works that way. It's just a very minor annoyance. Okay. So you can run up here, and then we're gonna deal with this fleeing from battle and then desperately trying to run off into the night thing over on the other continent in a second. Actually, oh, never mind. That guy can't run from battle. We're actually gonna fight this and see if we can do some damage to these miners. Okay, 20 Palladian's a pretty good find. It's not the thing I wanted most, but it's still a good thing. And then, are there any ruins left to search that are not that are not blocked either by quest or by fungus. It looks like we have finally finished researching all of our stuff after developing endless mechanisms. This is blocked by of priests and pirates? What even is that? Okay. I am not so worried about this. Oh, we do need to build units in Kalal. I have been disregarding this because this is not like the thing we're actually doing to try to win the game. But maybe let's go ahead and make a bunch of basic foragers in Kalal. We could pop all the food stockpiles here and get the Battleborn to do this for us, but I would rather not. I would rather have those foragers elsewhere, or those Battleborn elsewhere. I'm really, not too concerned about our faction quest, because it's not the way we're planning to win, but there are still good rewards for completing it. We'll get there. I have not been staying focused on that. Alright, let's do as much damage as we can here, right? I can't imagine winning this. They do have very poor attack and defense, though. Who knows? Do I want to run toward them? How fast are they? They have 5 moves. So they're going to get me no matter where I am. The question is just, do I want to be in a, do I want to be, like, in a defensive position? Do they have... Okay, they have no kind of charging-based skill. So they're not going to get any bonus attack for running at me. I think I am going to make them come to me because I just want to be standing in the trees over here. I don't want to come and get them while they're in the trees. Yeah. Go ahead and do this. Oh no, negative morale. That is a bummer. Okay, we don't have free counter. But the damage they deal is going to be pretty minor, apparently. Continue to spread the disease. Sadly, this is the round where we die. And no cadavers for us. They were created, but we do not get to take them home. We should definitely chomp this army real fast. Can I... We do not have a proliferator over here. Okay. You just go ahead and do this. Obviously, we don't need to manual that. 6 more cadavers for the pile. Hooray! So we're getting levels up on units and stuff. Right, I never did actually tell you what to do. Is this... Do we really think that's not my carrot? Let's go have a look. If we get one more turn of Eclipse, and that doesn't have a fungal growth on it, then we do get to search it. God, I hope we get one more turn of Eclipse. We've been... The Eclipses have been very, very kind to us so far. Ah, damn it. Of course not. Well, that's very unfortunate. Oh, I did a legendary. Oh, right. I totally forgot about that. Okay, so... That's a problem. Okay, let's eat these guys real quick. Throw another stockpile down. That's actually searchable. Weird. Also, we did a quest. Sure. That army was spawned by searching a ruin. No, just run through the space. Stop being difficult. Alright, so we've got our little foothold over here. I do think it's interesting that Green hasn't attacked that yet, because they totally could have. Are you really? Okay. You have to get back to safety. What do your stats look like right now, Geos? 105 attack, 90 damage. So, Geos has this Earthquake ability, which I believe makes it so that every time Geos does a melee attack against any unit, all enemy units take damage. So, we do have to be a little cautious, obviously, in our approach there. But I would like to, I wouldn't mind claiming another Guardian if it's, like, free to do so, right? So yeah, you need to get back in our territory. Khazar here... Khazar does have Migrate. I guess we could just migrate to this region and force green out that way. There's no reason for us to hold this region in particular anymore, except that currently Khazar is siphoning resources here. But I don't think we care about that. This region also has Hyperium. It doesn't have Palladian. It does have spices, which is cool. Us holding Stegarnal like this does give us the ability to pull more more units and everything over from Hellcrast very safely. So maybe it's a good idea to just hold on to it for the moment. How many regions do we need? We are at 56% of a 30 region victory. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can see 11 regions that are not currently controlled by green. We don't know for sure how much more expansion room there is over here. It's worth noting that there are 2 regions on our continent that are currently unsettled, and we can of course just pick up Urkins and put buildings down there. So yeah, without taking Engrin, it's actually going to be kind of tight. I'm not sure that we have the space to win without fighting green. I thought we probably did before, but now I am feeling less certain. Okay, our roundup in Silali did find a spy and did wound them, but they did not. They're still there. I'm just going to fire the roundup again. I don't really think it matters too much. With the city being as small and weak as it is, like, it's not costing us very much to do that. Somebody built the reliquary. It was blue. And actually, blue has the science one, too. That's worrying. I'm concerned about that. Are we still leading on this thing? Yep, and we're now at 18. We might well get this. And it's not an amazing chess piece, but it's better than what we have access to now. We have no strategic armor tech at all, so it would be kind of an upgrade. Alright. So, where's this settler going? What's our plan with this? Einar is bad. Savyal is also bad. Do we want to take Amenvar? Amenvar, at the very least, has some anomaly clustering, so that the city itself could potentially be a little bit more functional. I mean, late-game cities are less reliant on that sort of thing, because you're going to be able to do the thing that we're about to do here, where we just purchase a bunch of buildings all at once. We don't need to... I'm really surprised by this. Oh, right, we are getting 50 approval from the Urkin. That is certainly helping. We definitely want to get some growth stuff up. How much does it cost to buy out a plow factory? You know, it's not actually that expensive. We certainly want to rebuild the Delver village. This is a 2-village region. Okay, the other one is already live. Okay, so it's probably going to be winter really soon, but also this is only 85 dust. Let's rush all that stuff out. The city does need a governor. Do we want to, like, pull Weyrasigo, maybe? Or do we want to hire a new governor? Do we have a governor who has good a pair, maybe, of good governing traits, or at the very least, some industry-based stuff. Science boost to Eslek Tarash is a haunt, which is cool. There are a couple of heroes available who are from the minor factions instead of from one of the player races. Science boost 1. The haunt faction tree is very science-focused, but it's not really a great fit for what we're doing here. It is worth noting that Eslek Tarash is I think the only flying hero, the only hero who is of the flying class and as such has flying movement, which means he can lead an army of flying troops and the whole army can do, cliff traversal and stuff, which is pretty cool. Dust boost 3 is fine. So actually, no, there's just not a good governing hero. All of the heroes that are on the market right now are kind of just bad and unimpressive. That said, them being level 5, if you took Unwin Waybridge, you could get Dust Diviner and Mining Authority and Siege Engine. Like, you could be up near Winter immunity, like, pretty quickly. Oh, no, wait, he's level 3. For some reason, he's level 3. There are several level 5s, but not him. That's a shame. He's the only one who has stuff I like. We could take Longfangs. Longfangs has spent 2 of his skill points unwisely, though, so he is effectively 2 levels lower than he appears. Yeah, and then, like, all of the other heroes are just kind of bad. Yep, you have misspent some skill points as well. Rough. Alright, let's get Wayrasigo then. We have a reasonably good Wayrasigo over in Jethad. He can just come party here. Okay, what else do we want to do for this city right now? The Alchemy Workshop seems fine, I suppose. Production line. Probably production line. Stuff like this is valuable. We want to make this city capable of fighting, like, quickly. And then there is the question. Do we construct a settler here, or do we burn 7 recycled stockpiles and just, like, go super hard on this? Because obviously if we spend recycled stockpiles, we don't want to be producing settlers at the same time. I think my plan is to just commit to stockpiles, and maybe the second city we, like, put one... Let's spend all but one of the stockpiles on this. The second city will spend a stockpile, which will give us the ability to produce a settler the next turn, probably. Yeah, okay, so this city will just grow really fast. Holkaj is our foothold on this continent. Okay, over here in Lenfell, once again, there's just a very large amount of Mithrite available. I think the plan is get all of the Mithrite. Okay, that is at least normally searchable. And so there are a lot of downsides to not having access to... I think we're going to bring the Skyfin over to this continent. There are a lot of downsides to not being able to have Battleborn be the entirety of your army anymore. Obviously, it means we have to, like, care a lot more about our units and, like, do a good job maintaining them and stuff, and it's more expensive. But one of the big upsides is that we're going to gain a ton of mobility, because our armies won't all be limited to 4 movement, because of Battleborn Ball and Chains. What do I want to do with you? I don't think there is any good play for you. We could just burn some Mycera stuff, I suppose. You know what? There's a ruin here that doesn't look like it has fungus all over it. Okay, I do love dust. I suppose. And every turn we gotta go look and see if there's Dust Orchid. And honestly, anytime that there is, we probably have to buy it. Like, that it's gonna be a very, very slow way of accumulating the bonus that we need, but I think it does matter. So there's a lot of spices on the market right now. We don't have a huge amount of money. This is running for another 5 turns. Okay, I'm not going to stress too much about it, but I think we probably are going to be able to refresh that as soon as it ends, which is cool. Alright, so you're running back to territory so you don't get jumped by this army. I really wanna take this guy out. How quickly are we going to be able to get over there? The answer right now is just not very quickly, sadly. Again, armies with Battleborn in them. Are there ruins around here that you can search? There are not. You are just slowly approaching our territory. And once things are a little bit more established here, maybe we can bounce Chaka back to his job on the other continent, which is tremendously important. Also, winter could fall any moment now, and it would not be a great time for us to attack, necessarily. I guess, when you're fighting the Mycera, war is not a thing that involves a lot of movement, necessarily. Ooh. So this, notice, this looks pretty different from the fortification icon on our cities. The thing that's happening there is their city now has retaliation damage. So 315 retaliation damage will be inflicted to adjacent unfriendly armies. They have powerful defenses on the walls. Your Urkin gazes at our territory with hunger. You may learn that there are some spores that are quite deadly. Okay. How dare you threaten me? Do you know who I am? Alright, definitely still building toward winter immunity over here. Buying a ton of stuff out is very good for your hero. So this is reading as happy, plus 100%. And we're up to 5 population already. So we built the most important industry stuff immediately. We got all the basic food things as well. I guess this is plus 10% food. I'm less concerned about I'm less concerned about getting like the dust and the science in the city straight. I just want to make sure that we are ready to pump out troops quickly. So I guess to that end we want to build burrows. I want to build toward that tree, right? And we shall continue to apply resources. Alright, back on the other continent, all kinds of things are finishing all at once. So this city's kind of oddly shaped because I just rushed over to the coast. I don't really want to build new troops until we finish rare alloys and we have some sense of what kind of armament we're talking about, and at that time we will have access to the next level of strategic, or the next level of non-strategic resource-based armor as well. So that would probably be a good time to do that thing. So for the moment, just level some districts up, I guess. Just continue to make the city more capable, and we can probably food focus again, because we're kind of taking a second here. You don't even have your public granary for some reason. Probably that's like a glass steel problem. When we assigned the plow factory, there wasn't enough glass steel to do the other thing, maybe. We know exactly what we want to be doing with you. Hime definitely needs to build some more districts. They did a really, really strange job with this city. I think this was them. I don't think I'm the one who built this weird long line of districts. And then Oyvind also needs to just continue leveling things up for the moment. Are we better off starting to build downward? Probably, actually, because the position of the border and everything. So I guess, yeah, let's build that here. It's kind of weird. We're going to sort of like hinge the city down and to the left. But in the end, it'll be a lot of leveled up districts. So, we do not yet have a site for our national craftworks. Some city around here is going to be the city that gets double effects from luxury boosters. I'm wondering if it should be a city constructed in the region Chaka's in right now. So that would give us a lot of potential aggression. Then again, Holkaj is a center of some power. You know, we rushed some stuff through. We threw a lot of food stockpiles into this region. So maybe it would be best to put it up here. How expensive would it be to buy that out? 48.52. So right now we just plow resources into it, and then we buy this out when we can afford to. And we make this the center of our power here, at least until we take Angran. And then, Angran is also the center of our power. We just have sort of a dual center. That's a thing, right? Alright, so if you lot just continue to run over here. I'm wondering if we could safely engage with Geos next turn, maybe? And apologies if I'm playing really slowly today. I can feel that I'm playing slowly, or that we're not getting a lot of turns per minute. But again, I'm just feeling really anxious, and I like to double check things a lot when I'm feeling really anxious. Probably not like a rocket science. We should probably kill this neutral army. Why am I just letting these things exist? Welcome to the stew. Don't include Chaka. I don't want the lice to take any damage prior to real fighting. And I am going to manual this just because I want to make sure that the injured Battleborn is not part of the fight at all. We're going to put him way over here in the corner and set him on hold position. Okay. From here, it should be very simple. I'm just worried about him still finding a way to get killed. So these things only have 2 attack range. They're technically archers. They're kind of archers. Very, very short range is like the worst of all possible worlds, right? Because as they have the range trait, they still get minus morale from things standing adjacent to them, but they still have to get basically into combat range in order to be able to shoot at you. The Tedeke is a weird unit. It also has free counter by default, which is powerful and very unusual. Alright, a little bit of XP for everybody. A couple more cadavers for the pile. I definitely don't want to launch the attack this turn. Okay, I would like you to get into the region. So we're going to rush over here real fast. So I guess closed borders doesn't work the way I thought it did with Urkins. They kind of claim the region for you, but not as much as I had imagined. Again, this is an issue of me just not having played with Urkins all that much. I don't usually bother to take them over. Okay, so now that our settler is on the ground properly here, I probably want to just come over and actually claim Gleka, right? I think that's going to be the plan. And we'll build the city for Gleka like here, where it's benefiting from 2 anomalies and it's close enough to hold cogs that they can fight together. So yeah, I think that's good for now. We have 1.9k dust. We should do something with it. Maybe it's being saved. Maybe this is being saved for the second city's buyout purposes, or maybe it's even being saved for this. God, it's going to be such a pain in the ass to siege down Engrin. I really, really, really wish we could actually use our 3 Urkin Tremor ability. I've never gotten to see it, you know? How healthy are you, Khazar? Not very. He's going to level up to level 4 next turn, though. Like, his stats are starting to get pretty solid. I think I'm going to move Khazar over. Right, because we're not running reinforcements from Hellcrast anyway. Although we could start soon. We are actually getting done with all of the important extractors and whatnot. Well, we would certainly want to build the cargo dock before doing so. So maybe I want to just buy that out, and then... Yeah, you know what? I will. Let's rush these out. Let's launch this Battleborn. Okay, inconvenient, but future units will be able to go right down the cliff, thanks to the district being there. And we'll I guess I didn't really need to rush that out because we don't want to... Here, start working on this. We don't want to build the units yet anyway, right? We want to give it a couple of turns, but we have a plan at least. Alright, please don't become winter just yet. I want to have a little bit more time of good movement. Okay, no, it did force them out of the territory. It is really my territory. It just takes a minute for it to behave that way. It seemed like they were able to move in. So that means we're not in a big rush to grab Geos here. So we don't do it this turn? I let my armies close in a little bit more. The die has run out, which is a shame. Okay. All these cities have stuff to do. We could spend some dust buying out these basic units. I'm sure these aren't that expensive. Actually, they're remarkably expensive. Just all units. All units are remarkably expensive. So anybody that we include in this battle is not going to have the action point necessary to fight Geos. Because there's no reason, really, to... The one army will handle it. Huh. It does not necessarily believe that. No, this is easy. What do you... This is an easy battle. I don't know why it's treating it like it's going to be some big thing. Okay, this is non-volcanic terrain, right? Yeah. Where are you going? So because they got bounced out of the territory, they don't have... When you get forced out of somebody's territory at the beginning of a round, it also takes away all your movements. They're not going to go anywhere. Which is actually a little bit detrimental to me, because I did want them to move away so that we could drop Khazar here. If I did that now, I'm worried they would still be allowed to attack him, because we know that ownership of the region does not necessarily prevent that. Okay, we've been decreased morale. 3 morale for 6 turns. Do we just run an empire-wide roundup to get rid of that? Probably not. The right way to deal with this, the way we would prefer to deal with this, is to hire a hero who is actually any good at spying at all, which is not a thing we've seen in a while, and, like, throw him into Blue's Empire and do the reveal spies action. But they're doing a pretty good job of keeping me from even getting to play the espionage portion of the game. I don't really know what to do about it. We could, I suppose, conduct nationwide roundups. That's not... It doesn't feel great. We have a lot of cities where the population is actually doing a huge portion of the work. But it's certainly gonna be hard to win a war if our units are always at -3 morale. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. That sucks. That's a shitty thing that is happening. I hope the AI are taking each other as seriously. Out of curiosity, where are we at on... Okay, more than 5,000 science income per turn. 45 technologies, so... Yeah, Blue's gonna be a winning the game type threat pretty soon. We may not even have time for a war with Green, honestly. We may just have to, like, turbo settler. That's a thing I didn't really consider. And it is increasingly looking like the case. Alright, well... you can... That's Wings of Ruin. If I have the Skyfin search that, it's gonna get consumed and give us the Guardian Slaying unit, which I don't actually want. This is tough. We had a good start, but I do not feel like we are in a good position in the overall. So we want a hero's army to start the battle with Geos, right? Like, we want Polyanoa to just ride down there and crush. And then we want Photios to be within reinforcement range, which yeah, we're going to have to execute a move. We're going to have to make sure we execute a move at the beginning of next turn to put people in range of combat. And then we're going to have the attack go off. But yeah, we're kind of just running out of time. Like, it's going to have to be this turn. Because we have other things we need to resolve. Alright. I'm going to call it right here. Again, I'm gonna go take a little break, just relax a little bit, and see if I can get my brain back in a reasonable space instead of trying to vibrate out of my skull with anxiety. And also, it's too hot to be in this room anymore. So this is where we're gonna call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we are going to claim this Guardian with great violence and aplomb, and then we're gonna have to kick the win the game plan into very serious gear. Maybe not in a units of game winning per minute sense, but certainly in a units of game winning per turn sense, because blue might legitimately just get there before us, and it's looking like green is going to make fighting them basically impossible. It's getting a little grim, just a tiny bit grim. And we'll see you then.